Yeah. And should I go over to the right where it says Zoom? Is that the app? Oh, on the computer. Now there's 448 on the left. Well, it was blue before, but it's blue now. AI lecture 448. I got to click this one first, and then it'll say start next. Uh, Hold on. I got to hit start first, then it'll turn blue. No, I tried clicking 448 on the left, and nothing happened. So I think I was supposed to hit the start on the right, and that'll turn blue. All right, hold it. No, nothing turned blue. The artificial intelligence lecture 448 is the icons on the left. That was already blue. I clicked and nothing happened. Uh, that's the big window. And hit start, which is to the left of the right side. Okay. And nothing's happening.
Hi, Professor.
Yeah.
I'm just saying hi. How are you?
Hey, hey.
I'm also in a 304 class this semester.
Oh, all right. Do me a favor. Don't talk for the next 5 minutes.
Oh,
He's still in it somehow. Oh, he's in both classes, I think. I minimized that. That doesn't show. Oh, all right. I'm sorry. Where do I find it that it's been minimized now? The bottom. And is it the Zoom icon all the way to the right? Uh, okay, so I got 304. Wait a minute. I'm sorry. Hold it. Uh, Wait a minute. I got my mouse over the two windows below. One says Zoom and one says Zoom meeting, but they didn't get bigger yet. Should, Hold it. Click on the Zoom meeting little icon itself. Hold it, hold it. It's not it's not getting larger. I didn't know that I was. Did maybe Avin didn't unshare? Yeah, ask permission to share. No, no, no. Well, yeah, I minimized it so it's still alive. All right. Ooh. Okay.
I need to see your computer. Okay. So, what meeting is this for? AI?
448 AI.
Are you in?
Well, I got the three: join audio, share screen. Click which one?
Yeah, share screen, share audio.
All right, I'm gonna hit share audio join audio first. Yell if you want me to still do that.
Yeah, keep doing that. Let me see if I can get into a lecture. Here, this.
Think about parking but her mother to go straight for his being puts that on your mind and I just leave it on a consent.
So yeah, there are 10 participants here.
Wait a minute, you're kind of loud.
Okay. You turn on your camera?
There's the camera, very tiny, I know.
It's the bottom left. It says start video. Yeah, click on that. Start
Join audio?
Yeah, join with audio.
Here.
Yeah, it's join with audio. What does it say? What does that red box say?
The red, join audio is the bottom left small one. Leave computer.
In front of you with the red button. What does it say?
That one says leave computer audio.
Ignore that. Yeah.
Should I click on that?
Just ignore it.
I think his audio is already connected. You just gotta share the screen.
Wait, that voice is
So just wait, Professor. Bottom left.
join audio.
Yes, join audio. So and
Nothing's happening.
no, ignore this. Ignore this. Wait.
Join audio again.
Move your camera.
No, the audio is already connected.
Oh, this is Sagun?
Yeah.
All right.
Wait.
Yes. So you just have to share the screen next to join audio.
Down here, Rage, the shared screen?
Yeah, share screen. And before you do that, also you might want to turn on your camera.
The camera is where?
The bottom left. It's all the way to the left. All the way to the left.
How about the video? Should I click that?
Yeah, that's the one. Click it. Yep. Okay, so now we can see.
Wait a minute.
Island.
Yeah, hold it. Okay, it went on, it came on. Okay, it's on now.
And now blue share button. You're almost there. Okay, I'm going to request remote access.
Go ahead.
Hello, Professor, can you hear me?
I hear you nice and softly, but I hear you. I still got the leave computer audio here in red.
Professor, can you hear me?
Yes. Yes, I do.
Oh God, I think you're mute. 1 second. Let me call you.
All right.
We can hear him.
Yeah, hello, Professor. Did
Did I what? They hear me, they said. Yeah. All right. So there's a leave computer audio here. Do I want to do that, Ray?
No, we're good. We're good. We're good. Never mind.
You're going to then turn that off, leave computer audio.
Everything is fine. Let me just get over here. Let me close this.
And we still got this leave computer audio window open.
Close it if you can. If there's an X option on it, just click X and close it.
All right, I see it. It's squeezed between two of them. Wait
I
a
don't
minute.
see it.
All right, I do. Hold it. I can't get rid of it. Wait.
Just drag it to the bottom. Yeah.
All right, it's off the screen.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
I
So
thought this class started at 6:45.
6:30. No.
Ooh.
Okay.
Okay,
so,
you're right. Sorry.
So
Okay.
we're doing blind search today or artificial intelligence C.
I think it's artificial intelligence part C, but I wanted you to show videos. Can you take a look at your videos? They're on actually on the lecture section from 2B. No, we're not that far. Go back to 2B.
Application areas. No, I think it's 1B. It's
1B, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Okay.
Scroll, look at 1A. Look at one. Well, we want the YouTube
Video.
videos
The Die Hard video, right?
and the YouTube.
One second.
You just passed water jug. That one.
Okay, so for the water.
And common sense. Common
Okay.
sense, and then our friend Bruce Willis.
Okay, so
And then I'll give you 3 or 4 others that I'd like to see now.
I'm pretty sure there's a way where you can put videos inside of Google Slides, like without any. Like you can just drag and drop them in here. There's a way to do it.
Tonight, let's just click this one we got. And I may ask you to shut it down for a split second, a pause.
Well, assuming we can. Can anyone hear the audio? And none of us can hear the audio, Professor. Can you try sharing the audio with the computer? There should be an option.
You want to share the audio? Where do I see that?
So there should be an option where you can share the audio. So like there should say, you know how it says share screen, chat, participants, right? There should be an option.
Top, share, well, okay. It says new share.
No, we don't want to do that. We don't want
Remote controlled, no. Stop share, no.
There should be an option that lets you pass in your computer's audio. What about the window you took to the bottom that you're hiding to the bottom? Yeah, if you could bring that window up, right? Can you allow it? Because maybe that's what it is. It's allowing your desktop, your computer's audio to pass through. So allow it.
Computer audio connected.
Okay, so now if I hit play.
You want me to click that?
One sec. Yeah, click that, click that. Do you see the window?
It's not,
One second. Let me minimize this. Wait. Do you see the window?
that says what, leave computer audio?
Yeah, can you click that? Like allow it?
You are using the computer audio.
Okay. Now let's see if I can. Okay, what the hell happened here?
All right, this is the video. I'm going to maximize it. All right. Okay, let's listen to it before we do anything else.
Professor, we can't hear it.
What's that?
We can't hear it. Yeah, we can't hear it at all. Like, we've tried passing an audio. I feel like there's something else that we're missing. We're gonna have to figure this out. It says you need to click the checkbox that says share screen with computer audio. So there should be an option over here that
There's
allows
a
you
new
to-
share and the other one, well,
Okay, how
should I
about this?
click?
Click the
What's-
button click the button that says stop share. There should be a button somewhere that says stop share.
All right, that was stop share.
Yeah, stop it. Okay.
Wait a
Now,
minute.
now go back to the bottom. There should be a green button that says share screen. All right, and you click on that. There should be a blue button that lets you share. But before you click that blue button, there should be like a little box that says share computer audio. Make sure that it's checked.
On the bottom title bar there,
Green button first.
which is share screen.
Yeah, click that. Now it'll open up a little window, right? With the, and then on the bottom left, bottom right, we have the blue share button. Before we click that, check to see if there's like a little option that allows you to pass in your audio, like a little checkbox.
On the bottom,
Yeah, like somewhere on that window with the blue button on that window, see if there's a little checkbox that lets you pass in the computer's audio.
the share button, is that the one we want to look at?
The green one or the blue one? Or which one are we talking
The
about?
blue one, should I click that? It just
Before-
says share.
Before you do, check to see if there's like a checkbox somewhere in that window. Okay, if you look closely, there should be a checkbox that lets you.
In the inner window here.
1 second. You know what? I'll just share it. I'll share it. It's fine.
All right, go ahead.
Can you enable participants sharing since you're the host?
Participant sharing.
Yeah, there should be an option. I think it's on like the left side. It should let you.
The left bottom?
So it'll say share screen, and then if you hover over it, it should give you an option like to allow participants. There's a little arrow on top of the green button.
Share alternate S?
Capital S, share screen with the green button, right?
Yeah, you want me to click that?
No. Look next to it. There's gonna be like a little tiny arrow on top of it, like a little carrot, to a little bit to the left of it. You click on that, it'll say host can only share, or anyone can share. If you go on that option, it'll let you set.
Wait a minute. It went away. Hold on. So if I give you share, you could do all that, or they don't let you? A little green arrow in the upper left part of this window?
Yeah, the upper right part of the window, there should be a little arrow on the green button.
No, that was on the upper left.
Well, click it, see what happens. It should give you an option that allows participant sharing.
Screen sharing? No. No.
You know what? Just share your screen. I'll figure something out.
Okay. Did anything happen?
No, I don't see anything. Did you click share screen?
Yeah, on the bottom side, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Did you click the blue button afterwards?
The blue one with the Zoom icon in it, the little one?
I'm talking about, you know the green share button, right?
Yeah.
After that, you should get a blue share button, like on the bottom right side. Did you click it?
Yeah, but there's a window blocking. Now, yeah, it was hidden by a different one. Okay. I'm hitting share.
Yeah. Okay, and then I'm gonna request remote access.
Go ahead.
Okay. So.
Go ahead. I just said okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna close this window. 1 second. there should be an option. I think maybe in video, allow participants, spotlights, video display, full view, adjust for low lights, touch up appearance, enable HD. There should be an option over here that allows you to, not even here, I think so. If you go to your Zoom meeting controls, which I don't have access to, over here, right? There should be, one second. There should be an option that allows you to pass in your audio. So if you know where it says mute, stop video, security, participants, right? One second.
The one on top or the bottom?
The one on top. So you know where it says like polls, new share, and all that stuff, right?
Mute, stop video, security, participants,
Yeah.
holds, new share,
Yeah.
stop share, remote controlled.
Yeah. So there should be an option over here to basically. So what you can do is when you stop sharing, right? The little red button that says stop share.
Wait,
Right.
all of this is because I want to show a video?
No, because you have to pass an audio. That's the problem. We can see your video. We just can't get any audio, right? And so if I share, I might be able to pass in my audio.
Then
So
let's do it that way. Let's, and we'll try in downtime
So,
another day.
so what I suggest you do is click on stop share. When you click on stop share, right?
On the top, stop share.
Yeah. When you click on that red, right?
Yeah.
What'll happen is, do you see the share screen button, the green share screen button on the bottom with the controls?
Yes.
Okay, there's a very tiny little arrow over there. You have to look for it. You might have to like get really up close to your screen. Like a little arrow there.
An arrow with nothing else but the arrow head.
Yeah, like a caret, like a power symbol. You know, like 2 to the power of 4. That little symbol, right? A little tiny arrow. You have to find that.
And it says one participant can share at a time. Multiple participants can share. Ah, that's it.
Yeah.
I just clicked.
Now I can share.
Go
Now,
ahead. That's very small. I don't know how people do that. Yeah.
yeah, now we're good. Let me just open up a new Chrome.
Sorry, guys. Still a work in progress.
Let me go.
Oh, all right. Always display participant names on their video. Well, okay.
Oh, hey, we're faster than last time. Okay, so we want C, we want something in B because there's video content in B that we want to cover. Let's pray to God this actually passes the audio as well. And then blind search and informed search. I don't think we're going to cover all of it, obviously, but hey.
All right. So I see my face in the middle here. Should I cross that out? Get rid of it?
No, it's fine. Leave
It's too big. It's too big.
Let it. You should have an option that lets you like see the actual lecture slides. Can you see the lecture slides?
Hold it. Now I can. I just moved that out of the way.
Yeah, there you go.
All right. Go ahead.
So I'm just gonna kind of skip through the jug problem, right? This is the one you want to see. So
Please.
let's watch the common sense.
This one first, if you could. Yeah.
Okay, so let's put this on first.
And is the problem you stopping it for a second, the pause problem, or it's okay?
Guys, could you hear the audio? I need to see the chat.
It's not playing, so we can't tell.
Play it
Yeah,
again.
it's paused.
Think about the Isaac Asimov novels. He was
Yeah,
really
the volume needs to be louder.
Yeah, we can sort of hear it. It's just a little low in volume.
real robots, real artificial intelligence.
Maybe if you add the
Beautiful,
caption, that might
beautiful.
help.
Idea now what our lives are going to be like so that artificial intelligence is really here. We'll be
Can you
able
add the
to,
captions?
like begin.
You want me to add captions? Sure. Okay, 1 second.
And make it larger. I'm not able to do that for some reason. I'm clicking on it.
Computer sound. Okay, I see what they're saying. 1 second. Let me stop sharing. Then let me reshare. Share computer sound. Okay, there you go. I missed that. Sorry about that. So I should probably. Okay. My bad. Okay. Let me reduce the volume because I don't want to go deaf. Can everyone hear it?
You can make it a little softer.
Okay, I'll make it 1 second. Is it too loud?
I don't hear it now.
1 second. I'm just trying to get the chat open. What the fuck is the chat?
It's good. We can hear it well.
Yeah, okay. I don't see the chat. Screw it. Whatever. Okay. Great. Beautiful. Whatever. If it's too loud, let me know.
A little softer.
I'm like,
About Isaac Asimov novels. He was really one of the first people to talk about what the world would be like in a future where there were real robots, real artificial intelligence. We're getting a lot closer. We can actually have a pretty good idea now what our lives are going to be like soon when artificial intelligence is really here. We'll be able to do things like begin to ask a question, begin to make a gesture, and our personal AI, knowing us as well as it does, understanding the context we're in, will be able to fill in the rest of that sentence, fill in the rest of that question, do the rest of that gesture before we're even consciously aware that we've started to do it. We'll be able to walk up to any object in the real world, a chair, a doorway, a paper plate, and have a conversation with it. So where are we on the path to that sort of fairy tale future? Well, those of you who've had experience with something like Siri or Cortana or really any smartphone pretty much already know where we are on the path to that. You have a kind of love and hate relationship with these objects. They're close to what we want, but not quite. They don't really understand what we're trying to do most of the time that we are trying to ask them for things, talking to them. So what is missing? Why are they brittle in that way? Basically, they're brittle because they can't answer questions about what it is that they're finding for us, in the same way that Google is brittle. So what do I mean by that? What does it even mean for something like you or me or it to understand us? It doesn't just mean parroting back information like this. It means something where it means being able to answer all the obvious questions about that information, combining it. So what do I mean by combining it? Well, if I ask Google, when was Barack Obama born, I'll get 100 million hits that tell me he was born in August of 1961. And if I say, who was president in 1961, I'll get 100 million hits that tell me John F. Kennedy was. But if I ask a question like this, who was president when Barack Obama was born, I won't get the answer. Page after page after page don't mention John F. Kennedy. And why is that? It's because Google didn't really understand the last two things it told me. It doesn't really understand the question I'm asking here. It's like the dog fetching the newspaper for you, maybe doing a good job, but it doesn't really understand what it's carrying in its mouth. So how can we escape from that? Well, how do we as human beings stop being brittle or avoid that kind of brittleness? It's pretty much because we have common sense, or as Cindy would say, because we are able to use pronouns. So in essence, our common sense lets us disambiguate sentences like this, so that we're able to understand that Tom was mad at Joe because Joe stole Tom's lunch. And if I had changed one word in that sentence, you would have no trouble disambiguating it the other way instead. And it never even crossed your mind for a second that Tom stole Tom's lunch or Joe stole Joe's lunch. And that's because of all the millions of things you learned when you were 1 year old or 2 years old or 3 years old about emotions and the way the world works. Things like if somebody takes something of yours, it makes you angry. And that it doesn't make a lot of sense for somebody to steal something that already belongs to them, and so on. So what is missing from Siri, from Google, from IBM Watson that still makes that kind of near AI, not quite AI, that still makes them brittle. There are really two things. One is this enormous body of general knowledge, of common sense, of things we learned when we were little kids. Things which are invisible because since everybody knows them, we never bother saying them out loud. We never bother writing all that stuff down. And the second thing that's missing is the ability to combine those pieces of information, like in the Barack Obama example I gave you, sort of like the way Sherlock Holmes combines clues to reach deductions, which are very impressive. So in his entire fictional career, Sherlock Holmes did maybe 400 deductions. You've done that many every day, say at lunch with your friends, just disambiguating the ambiguous words and the pronouns and the details that they leave out in what they say. So if you think Sherlock Holmes is impressive and amazing, think how amazing every one of us is in that same sense. Now, most of artificial intelligence these days focuses on what you might call right brain thinking, finding patterns in lots of data, sort of the way Amazon and Netflix make recommendations to you based on things you've bought in the past and likes that are similar to yours. It doesn't really understand why it's recommending what it does, but it knows that it will very often succeed because it has just so much data to base that on. Now, is that the only kind of reasoning we want our AI to do? No, we really need both lobes of the brain. We really need left brain thinking as well as right brain thinking. When I go to the doctor, I want him or her to be able to recognize patterns of symptoms, but I also want them to understand medicine and disease. When I fly in an airplane, it's great for the pilot to have great pattern recognition capabilities, but I also want the pilot to understand what every one of those instruments and controls in the cockpit actually does. So we have to represent logical information, this sort of hidden common sense information, not just the ability to statistically find patterns. So how are we going to get all of that common sense written down? And even worse, since it's invisible, how are we going to make it visible? So the idea, the way that you can do this is look at one sentence after another, almost at random. It almost doesn't matter what the visible part is, what the black space is, what the words are that the author wrote down. Introspect on what it is that is the white space, the invisible part, the part that the author assumed the reader already knew about the world, the things the author assumed you would infer from what they did say. And it's that invisible body of knowledge that we have to articulate, we have to write down. And we have to write it down not in English, but in some computer language so that programs will be able to draw the same conclusions from a bunch of these things that you or I or Sherlock Holmes would draw. So that's the basic program for getting artificial intelligence. We don't need we don't need the billion things that are found on Google and in Wikipedia, the facts about the world. We can basically wait on that, get that from those sources once the AI is smart enough to help with its own education. But we still have this large task to do. Now, there's bad news and good news. The bad news is that if we start today, even with almost unlimited resources, to ferret out those tens of millions of pieces of invisible common sense knowledge could take decades. The good news is that we don't have to do that because in 1984, 30 years ago, when I looked like I did in this picture back at Stanford, I started a project to do exactly that. And now, 30 years later, millennia of time later, we've actually built up that huge knowledge base, something we call psych. And we're seeing it applied now, something that can work invisibly, almost underneath any application you can imagine, to make it a little bit less brittle. So let's take a real quick look at just a few examples of that. Here's a case where we're trying to find relevant pictures, captioned images, given in this case, a query to find pictures of someone smiling. We don't look at the images, we're just looking at the captions. And if you look at that caption, a man helping his daughter take her first step, you can see that it probably is relevant. There probably is someone smiling in that picture. Well, how do you know that as a human being? Well, you know it because parents love their children, and if somebody you love accomplishes something, it makes you happy, and if you're happy, you smile, and taking your first step is an accomplishment. So if you know those four things, finding this match is trivial. If you don't know those four things, finding this match is impossible. So Psych knows those four things. It knows those four pieces of common sense. It applies them. It finds this match. Oh, and yes, by the way, there is someone smiling in that picture. Not the little kid, but the father. Here's an example where intelligence analysts are trying to put together lists of events of a certain type, in particular terrorist events in which government buildings in Beirut are damaged, and it finds a match to this story because it knows that embassies are government buildings, it knows that embassies are usually in the capital cities of a country, the capital of Lebanon is Beirut, and pipe bombings are terrorist events. Again, if you know those few things, there's nothing that surprising about the match that it finds. But if you don't know those pieces of general knowledge, then you're just never going to get the answer to that question. Here's a case where we're applying our technology to make new medical discoveries by combining left and right brain sources of power. There's lots of data nowadays that has been accumulating about point mutations in people's DNA and medical conditions like osteoporosis that they develop later in life. So those A to Z correlations from mutation to disease are very, very noisy, very weak. They're usually wrong, and doctors hate wasting their time chasing these things down. So how can we help? How can the Psych technology help? It helps because it takes those A to Z correlations, and for each one, it tries to put together a rationalization, a causal argument, step by step by step, from A to B to C, to Z. And if we can't do that, then that A to Z correlation was probably just an artifact, probably just noise, and we shouldn't even waste our time on it. And even if you can put this rationalization together, often it's wrong, just like often our rationalizations about things are wrong. But a cool thing happens once you have the whole pathway spelled out. Somewhere in the middle, say somewhere around step J, there might be an independently testable hypothesis, a prediction. And then we can go back to the data and see if it's confirmed or disconfirmed. And this kind of exciting synergy back and forth between those two sources of power, the two lobes of the AI brain, between pattern finding and logic, is the way a lot of science is going to get done in the next 100 years. The last example I want to cover is something where we're using Psych to help students more deeply understand science and math. So how is that working? Well, obviously you learn a lot when you're doing homework or when you're in class, but you know as well as I do that a lot of learning also occurs when you're playing games. Think of all the kids who really only understood arithmetic when they had to in order to win some Pokemon battles or Magic the Gathering duels or something like that. And the last source of power in teaching and learning there is that often you learn a lot when you're teaching someone else. So think about that. We've all had that experience where we really only understood something when we had to explain it to somebody else. And that might have taken the form of you helping a little brother or sister learn to read or sew or some other craft or helping somebody with homework. And so our artificial intelligence application to education, which is called MathCraft, is very different from all the others that you've ever seen. It doesn't have the computer in the role of the teacher. Instead, Psych, the artificial intelligence, plays the role of a kid, a student, someone who is always very slightly more confused than you are about math and science. And so your role as the player in this game is to watch them, help them, mentor them, tutor them, explain to them why they're getting things wrong. And in the process, they will overcome challenges in the game. They'll get gold, they'll save the world. And in the process, you will walk away with a deeper understanding of all the things in math and science that you had to explain to them along the way. If you have the chance to see that at the X Labs Interactive later this afternoon, you can come up and get a first-hand look at that and try your hand at MathCraft. So in this short talk, we've taken a look at what the gap is between where we are today with something almost like artificial intelligence and where we want to be with omnipresent, ubiquitous AI, where our personal AI assistants from cradle to grave will make us, in effect, smarter. They'll amplify our mind in much the same way that electrical devices and appliances amplified our muscles 100 years ago. They'll make us more creative, able to tackle harder problems, able to be less misunderstanding with each other as individuals, smarter as individuals, and smarter as a species, because everybody will have something like this, which is going to be a virtually free appliance, a mental prosthesis. So think about that, a world in which everyone is much smarter than people are today, almost imaginably smarter as individuals and as a species. When was the last time that even happened in human history? You'd have to go back over 100,000 years to the discovery of language. And we look back on that generation of pre-linguistic cavemen with sadness and say, it's really too bad they weren't quite human, were they? Maybe our descendants one day will look back at us, the last pre-AI generation, and say, it's really too bad they weren't quite human, were they? Thank you.
Yes, stop
Okay.
it. Yeah.
So that's the first video. Then you want to
All
do
right, hold on. Give a few minutes. We'll start. Lennart, the middle 1980s, and he was talking about common sense. He got a lot of Americans, well, actually the Japanese were on this train first, I suppose, and the Japanese were talking about the computers with AI. And Lennart's work ties into that. And Americans got real scared. I might have mentioned this the first night, that all of a sudden there were hundreds of millions of dollars available for computer science researchers to do their work because they were afraid the Japanese were getting ahead of us. We didn't really know what computers with AI meant. So the CyC project, CYC, short for encyclopedia. And essentially, Lennart was trying to design a way to encode intelligence so that people could use it. Expert systems, something we talk about briefly later in the course. The trouble with expert systems is that they are brittle, B-R-I-T-T-L-E. The Chinese people in the class know that bamboo is cherished by Chinese people to an extent, at least ancient Chinese. Why? Because if there's a strong wind blowing, the bamboo would not break. It would bend. So if something can bend with a force, we say it's not brittle. Something that's brittle either works or it breaks, and that's it. I think I used this analogy the first night. If I drop a sheet of paper, I'm not going to do it here, I'll make a mess, but it's going to go down slowly. And you know why? Because air pressure is forcing up from the bottom of that paper. If I make a ball out of the paper and drop the paper ball, it's going to drop quickly. Why? You know why. There's less air pressure underneath. The surface area of the paper ball is rather small. So what was he telling us? Expert systems, again, they work well, but only when they work well. Otherwise, they fall apart. Back in the 1980s, Reagan was president. And he wanted to get, what the hell did Reagan want? He wanted a system which would make America totally secure. So if any missile is coming towards New York, we're going to be able to shoot their missiles down with our anti-missile missiles. And one time, and this is real, we were on red alert, meaning Washington thought we were being attacked. It was early in the morning, and our military experts thought we had big missiles coming up over the horizon. It turned out that that was the sun coming up in the east, which it's wont to do every morning. So unfortunately, expert systems are not perfect. They're known to be brittle. A expert system to detect measles, it turned out it said yes to a car that had a lot of rust on it. So expert systems are nice, they save people work, but it's no replacement for what we do. They're not little humans in a box yet. Okay. And the best way to learn something is try to teach it yourself. So maybe you can all register next semester for Steve Lucci teaching Zoom. We'll see how that goes. But okay. Hey, Ray, we're ready for Mr. Willis here and his colleague.
Okay, got it.
This is much shorter, I promise.
Be careful. Don't open it.
What?
I gotta open it. And it's gonna be all right. Shit! Shit! I told you not to open it!
I trust you see the message. It has a proximity circuit, so please don't run.
Yeah, I got it. We're not gonna run.
How we turn this thing off?
On the fountain, there should be 2 jugs. Do you see them? A 5-gallon and a 3-gallon. Fill one of the jugs with exactly 4 gallons of water and place it on the scale, and the timer will stop. You must be precise. 1 ounce or more or less will result in detonation. If you're still alive in 5 minutes, we'll speak.
Wait a sec! I don't get it. You get it?
No.
Get the jugs. Obviously, we can't fill the 3-gallon jug with 4 gallons of water, right?
Obviously.
All right, I know. There we go. We fill the 3-gallon jug exactly to the top, right?
Uh-huh.
Okay, now, we pour that 3 gallons into the 5-gallon jug, giving us exactly 3 gallons in the 5-gallon jug, right?
Right.
Okay.
Then what?
Now, take the 3-gallon jug, we fill that a third of the way up.
No, he said be precise.
Shit.
Exactly 4 gallons.
Copping 50 miles is running his ass off, and I'm out here playing kids' games in the park.
Hey! You want to focus on the problem at hand? Oh, shit! We got less than a minute. Throw this thing away.
Look, we can't take it off of there. It'll detonate. Just wait a second. I got it. Exactly 2 gallons in here, right?
Right.
Leaving exactly 1 gallon of empty space, right?
Yeah.
A full 5 gallons here, right?
Right.
You pour 1 gallon out of 5 gallons into there, we have exactly 4 gallons in there.
Yes.
Pour it in there. Come on. Come on. Don't spill it. Good. Exactly 4 gallons.
You did it, McLean.
Put it on the thing. Get it down there.
Congratulations. You're still alive.
All right, Ray,
Yeah.
we're not going to put any more videos on tonight. It's too much of a risk, but I did want to listen to some others. So applications, I believe, is next.
So 1C.
Yeah. So, don't go blocking part of it. All right. So application areas in AI. We expect to communicate with the agent. You never see, when you watch Star Trek, you never see somebody pushing keys. Well, you never see me pushing keys either. But the point is, if the computer is intelligent, why the heck are we pushing keys to communicate? Why can't we talk the way we talk to each other? So we expect to be able to communicate with our computers using a natural language. English, Chinese, French, who knows? So the following AI applications, we put a lot of time and effort into it. Game playing and puzzles, we have plenty of that. Automated reasoning, yeah. We want to be able to build intelligent systems. Automated reasoning is one tool. Expert systems, okay. We sort of hinted they might be important. Our friend Lynott put many years of research into building expert systems that possessed common sense. And language understanding. Again, I don't want to push keys. I want to be able to talk to my lovely computer, and it understands what I'm asking for. Right? Please get my videos to be sounded by everybody. That's what we were trying to do. The computer should figure out how to do it. Why the hell are Ray and I suffering? Although I think I suffered more than him. Okay, Ray, you can click. So in the early days of AI, we were always playing games. 1956, Dartmouth University, there was the first AI conference. And the brazen individuals, mostly professors, they are brazen. They think too much of themselves. But they talked about, one person came in and said, we have built an intelligentsia, you know, an intelligent entity. And of course that was nonsense. But in any case, game playing. Here's the 15 puzzle on the left. In our text, that's too much to draw. So I use 3 instances of the 3 puzzle. Now, here we have the 15 puzzle on the left. You see 16 squares. Imagine this embedded in a piece of plastic. There's a frame around the 4x4 grid here. And in the lower right, darkening there means that you can't move into that. Well, there's no number there, excuse me. Okay, so the idea is you have some initial configuration of the 15 tiles. And you have 1 degree of freedom. 3 can move south into the blank square. 12 can move right into, not at the same time, but 12 can move into the blank. If you want to move the 5 down to where the 10 is, you need a lot of moving in between, you know, 1 square at a time. And we would like for the movements to take place with some intelligence. So we could do this using blind search. You know, move 12 to the right, then move 13 down, then move 7 to the right, then move 9 down. You know, so you do it one at a time, or you might have some heuristics. We've used that term before. And essentially that's what our 2 friends, Bruce Willis and, who's the other actor's name? He does the Capital commercials, I think. Thank you, thank you. So yeah, those 2 gentlemen are arguing with each other, and a bomb will go off. If you've seen the Die Hard movies, this person who's giving the puzzles, the brother of that person was killed in Los Angeles, the Nagasaki, some big building, and you know, the actor there is hoping that he'll be able to punish these actors for the, you know, the demise of his brother. All right, so we would like to use heuristics to get, let's suppose we want to move the 2 to where the 12 is. If you use heuristics, you might be able to get there faster. All right, so, and if you wrote a program, obviously you know, you don't want to move the tiles because then you need 15 different variables. Why not just move the blank? So 12 moving to the right, your program would say move the blank to the left. And writing a program to do this is not a big problem. The running time of your program is going to be very big. This is not an easy, it's an easy problem to solve. It's not an easy problem to wait while the computer's busy trying to solve it. You're going to see it's exponential time. But okay, so much for that. So again, with the 3 puzzle on the right there, similar idea. Move the 1, 2, and 3. Well, you don't move any of them, as we said. Move the blank. In the opposite direction, you would have moved the number. So to move 1 to the right, you move the blank to the left. And you could write a program for that without too much work. Oh, Ray, give me a click. All right. So we want to play the 3 puzzle. And straight, in chapter 2, we'll see blind search. And we said earlier in our overview that blind search meant we can move, well, we said we're moving the blank. You can move the blank up, you can move the blank to the left, down, or to the right. So you got 4 possibilities, not all the time. As things stand now, the blank can move left, the blank can move right, which if by now we understand means the 1 moves to the right and the 3 moves down. So with a sequence of left, right, up, down moves, we want to get the initial state of the puzzle. So that's what we have, an initial state. The initial state here is 2, 3, 1 blank, reading across the top and then across the second row. And down on the bottom of this tree, the 5th column, and you see 1, 2, 3 blank. That's arbitrary. We call 2, 3, 1 blank up top the start position, and 1, 2, 3 blank at the bottom the goal position. All the tiles in order is arbitrary. Maybe you wanted 3, 2 blank 1. I don't know. But throughout the text, I was always using tiles in order to be the goal position. Start position, goal position. And you can use a blind search. We talked about blind search when I was trying to find my contact lenses. So a blind search means move the tiles in the order, left, right, up, down, and get some arbitrary sequence. And that's it. That's not going to be too efficient when it comes to bigger puzzles, even like the 15 puzzle. Or we can use heuristic search, and we'll see some examples of that. But here, you're at the root, 2, 3, 1 blank. If you move the blank north, we could follow that left path, then what happens is the blank moves down, and obviously the 3 moves up. So in the second level on the left, you see 2 blank, 1, 3, okay? If instead we had moved down to the right from the root, then the blank moves left, the 1 moves right, and let your eyes come down to the second level on the right, and you have 2, 3 blank 1. So keep doing this methodically. Up, what's the order? Up, down, left, right. Okay, so let's follow the path that leads to victory or success. So first move the blank up. Okay, you're at 2 blank, 1, 3, right? Second level, and you see that the blank has moved. Where the hell did the blank move? Up.
Sorry, wait a minute.
Yeah, go ahead. You made it smaller. You're trying to make it tough for me? Oh, that's better. Are we happy? Ray, is this it? Oh, good. You got my Hawaiian scene back. I'm happy now. Up. Move it a little bit to your left, which is to my right. Ray?
Okay, 1 second. I'll do that.
that nasty corner section is still there. Oh, I see. You're making very nice. You're doing it in red. Okay, so we move the square down to the left. The blank went down. So the position now, the red arrow shows us 2 blank 1 3, and we kind of see we're cheating now. Just to get this done with, that if we go right, actually, yeah, okay. If you go down to the right, you get to blank 2 1 3. Thank you. Those are pretty arrows. So now we're at blank 2 1 3, and we sort of, again, we're cheating. I'm taking the best path because I can see it coming up. When you're trying to solve the problem, you don't know that going left is your best move. For that, we're going to need heuristic search. Okay, so the end of the red arrow, there's a path of length 2, and now we say, what the heck? Let's go down. Wait a minute. Where the hell? Where do we go, people? We're at blank 2 1 3. And we go down, okay. If we go down, that means the blank is going down, which means the 1 is coming up. So there we are at 1 2 blank 3. And now, we got 3 on the lower right portion of the puzzle. We want it on the lower left. So move the blank to the right. And lo and behold, we have a solution. The cost of the solution is the number of moves we had to make, which is 4. When the puzzle is larger, as it is with the case of the 15 puzzle, and you want to make a move like this, you better not try blind search, you know, up, down, left, right, and keep trying over and over. You better have some heuristic, which means you better have some game plan. And again, in chapter 3, we go into various heuristic methods. Okay, so that's using a blind search to find a solution for the 3 puzzle. That wasn't too hard. We don't need AI to solve small problems. We need it for tough problems. Okay, go ahead.
So is that it? Or should I go back to the slides?
Go back to the slides, yeah. The next slide. Okay, so we're trying the same puzzle, the 3 puzzle. There's 3 numbered tiles. We're going to try a depth first search solution, right? You study depth first search in your data structure classes, 212. And in DFS, we're always going down south, if you will, whenever it's possible. If it's not, what we often do is backtrack. You know, undo your last move and try the next possibility. Okay, so DFS. Start at 2 3 1 blank. There we are up at the root. And with a depth first search, it is usual to go down the leftmost portion of the tree and back up whenever you can. If you want to go right, then at least put some documentation to say that you're going against the grain, so to speak. Okay, so you got your red pen ready. Okay, so DFS. Don't give me a solution yet. I want to play Trump tonight. I want to show how intelligent I am. What was it? Okay, this is a la Trump. So DFS, we're going to go left, down and left, what are you doing? So going down to the left side of the tree, the arrow is going up. So that means, excuse me, where the hell is the solution? I need to cheat. Yeah, okay, I'm cheating. So the rightmost move, wait a minute. So we want to go up. Wait a minute. We can't go up. What'd you do with that red? Why are you giving me hints? Your hints throw me back millions of years.
It says over there, this is a repeated state. We've proven it's an infinite loop because you're going.
What do? You trying to solve the whole thing? I'm trying to show how bright I am, and you're making it too easy, which is throwing me for a loop. All right, so you insist. So we go up first, which means the blank goes up. And if the blank goes north, then the 3 comes down. So second level on the left, you have 2 blank, 1, 3. Okay. Now, if you undo that move, as you see he did, Ray did, you're back where you started. So you got to watch out for loops. We would like a smart algorithm to avoid looping. Okay. So there you are, 2 blank, 1, 3. Okay. So let's go left. Going left, the blank goes to the left, which means the 2 goes to the right. And hold on, we'll let Ray continue. He's not as quick as we are. Thank you. Good to bust your horns for a change. Now, blank 2, 1, 3. So we're always going down when we can. Well, which means the arrow's going up. So blank 2, 1, 3. We can't go down. We can't go up. No, we can go down. I'm sorry. So blank 2, 1, 3 becomes 1, 2, blank 3. So go down to the left. That's it. And now we don't want to go up again, you know, with the blank, because then we're back to where we were a moment ago in blank 2, 1, 3. So we need to not make loops. So we're going to go to the right. So from that box where step 4, we're going to send the blank to the right. When you send the blank to the right, you got the 3 to its left. And lo and behold, what do they sing in soccer games? Goal, goal, goal. We got it. Okay, so these are 2 blind searches. Well, this is 1, I'm sorry, depth first search. Okay. Show us the next one, Ray. So we got 15 more minutes. That's good. So you got DFS. Yeah, we want BFS. Breadth first search. So we try to go, we want to get to the goal, but now we're going to move laterally. So we can't do that at the first step. 2, 3, 1 blank. And again, these moves are in some sort of order. You know, up, down, left, right, whatever the heck it was. Okay, and I wrote this a long time ago. So, I mean, it's arbitrary. So whatever I said it was, or, you know, you got the idea. So, okay, let's try going up. No, wait a minute. Where's the goal? Down there. So we're always going to try to move laterally. And hold on. 2, 3 blank. Blank 2, 1, 3. 2 blank 1, 3. Okay. So we're going to move from the first step. We're going to move the blank up. Okay. And when we do that, we go to the left. And we're now in 2 blank. I'm sorry, 2, 3, 1 blank, which is right below it and to its left. Very nice. So now we're at 2 blank, 1, 3, and we're going to go. We try going down into the left, but that puts us in a loop, right? I mean, we don't want that. So we'll go down and to the right, which takes us to blank 2, 1, 3. Yeah, go right. Thank you. And now we're going to go down, which brings 1 up, which is getting close now. So go left and down to 1, 2, blank 3. That's it. And again, it's a blind search, so you don't necessarily get the right move the first time. That's why you might see some backing up on occasion. Okay. Oh, blank 2, 1, 3. Let's send the blank down, which sends the 1 up, and we get to the next box below it on its left. 1, 2, blank 3. Very good. And 3 should be to the left of where it is, right? The order was 1, 2, 3, blank. So we're going to move the blank up. Wait a minute, what the hell are we doing? No, the blank right. Thank you. So come down into the right, and lo and behold, the tiles are in order. And again, this is a very small instance, right? Instance, an example that we're using of the puzzle. If this were a 15 by 15, the 15 puzzle with a 4 by 4 grid, this puzzle is getting rather ornery, but it's kind of tiny. So we got a solution. Depth first search and breadth first search, both examples of blind search. We went through this in the same order. Going back to my previous example, dropping a contact lens. Why? Because I don't want the people to see me with glasses. I want to look like a truck driver, not a professor. So you wear contact lenses to do that, okay? And when I look for that contact lens in a blind search, excuse me, I just move the flashlight around. I better take my shoes off because if I step on a lens, the bill is kind of large. So, okay. 2 different blind searches, DFS and BFS, okay? You may get a solution that way, you may not, but it's not going to be efficient. Okay, Ray, let's take us to a little heuristic search. This is just one heuristic. There are others. A heuristic search, we hope, will solve the problem in a faster fashion. Now, as I look at this puzzle, let me see. Somebody give me an idea. I've got 2 or 3 in my head right now. Give us a nice heuristic search. You want to beat a blind search. What do you recommend? Suppose I give you a little checkerboard, and you're asked to solve this instance of the 4 puzzle.
An informed search?
No, let somebody else go. Who's here? Let's see the names. Ben Mayer, Oren Ben Mayer. Where are you?
Here.
All right, what do you recommend? Give me a heuristic. I'm desperate here. Give me something that might get there faster. What do you recommend?
Picking ants. I would say it's probably would be like a sort of greedy approach, but like.
What approach?
Yeah, it's a little greedy, but like whichever. Let's say for example, if you have one choice, like you want to bring like the larger numbers further down, and you want to get the smaller numbers up. So whichever one's like gets you closer to that, goal.
So what are you measuring? What do you measure to get that?
So, for example, I mean, this could be a little bit of randomness as well in the choice because sometimes, but effectively, you see like how 3 is on top, right? And you see it's like a big number, right? And 1 is like to your left, and it's like a smaller number.
So if they're in order, you would expect the smaller numbers to be at the top. Okay, that's one idea. But here we are at 2, 3, 1 blank.
Yeah.
And I have 2 moves I can make. How did this heuristic here decide to go left? What the heck is F? What's being measured? So what you're doing, hold on, Ray, don't go giving us hints. You want, hold on. Ray got me lost since I saw a red line moving. I didn't know what that was. what you're looking for is how many tiles are out of place. That's one heuristic. If I look at the goal state, 1 is not where it belongs. Count 1. 2 isn't where it belongs. Count 2. 3 belongs on the bottom left. 3 tiles are out of place. So you might try to minimize the number of tiles that are out of place. That's a decent heuristic, but it's not the smartest one you can come up with. What do you think might be a little faster? Instead of just measuring the number of tiles out of place, what could we measure which is faster than just the number of tiles out of place? Okay, suppose it was, well, what the hell? Put 3 in the bottom. No, this is too small to find something that works faster. So what we could do is not just count the number of tiles out of place, but measure how many for each tile. And we're going to look at Manhattan distance. A long time ago, before you were born, Manhattan was a crowded place before it became the ghost town it is now. So in the old days, people did not wear masks. Manhattan was crowded, and people took taxi cabs everywhere. There are actually taxi cabs on the road. Well, I'm finding more these days. So you want to move 1 up. So count 1 as the distance, the length of the taxi ride that the 1 tile needs to achieve. 2, all right, 2 needs to go to the right. Count 1 as the cost of the ride that 2 must take. 3 needs to move south 1 block, I'm thinking as a Manhattanite might, and left 1 block. Therefore, 3 has to travel 2, 2 squares. Okay, so by the way, sometimes you need to count for reversals, which is more than just total distance. Okay, so on the left, let's look at 2, 3, 1 blank, and F. F is the total length of a taxi ride that starts at the route and passes through the tile you see below it to the left, which is 2 blank 1 3. And start at the route and go down to the right. Now, the cost of a taxi ride that gets to the goal, down at the bottom, you see the goal, 1 2 3 blank, that passes through the tile in the second level that's to the right of the route. So that's 2 3 blank 1. All right, let's go back up. You decide you might want to go left. Okay, down and left. F, we said, was the total length of a path that gets to the goal and passes through 2 blank 1 3, the tile below it to the left. All right, so let's see. The length of a solution, hold on, where the heck is it? Goal, 1 2 3. What are you doing? Ah! Wait, cut that out. Go back to, okay. So 1 plus 1 plus 1. 1 second. So the cost going left and down is going to be 4. The cost going down and to the right is going to be 6. We'll come back and see how the heck we got those numbers in a minute. So since going down and to the left is cheaper, we're going to take the path on the left. All right, so, all right, 1 second. 1. My head is empty. 1 plus 1.
Is it too small?
No, I can see it. And I made the problem up many years ago, but now I got an empty head. So what we want to do is add two costs. Plus 1. So for each tile, the first tile is a 1. Look at the root. 1 needs to go up 1 square. So that's the first one you see on the left side. Then 2, if 1 went up, 2 went down. Oh, my head is totally empty. 1 second. 1. Oh, I don't know. We're counting. G of n is the number of levels we need to pass through. How many steps did we move from the, where are you? From when we started. H is the heuristic estimate. Oh. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, like I said, my head is empty. All right, I'm going to let you finish this at home. But after you finish, the reason we went left is because that's a cheaper amount than going to the right. We don't give up on the right move, 2, 3, blank 1, because this is just tentative. So we stick with the leftmost path. Here we are at that leftmost path, and you don't go left down again because 2, 3, 1 blank is a loop. So go right, and the path cost is less than 6. That's why we went this way. And now if you go right, you're at 2, blank 1, 3. You don't do that because look up above it 2 moves. You see exactly the same square. So you're trying to avoid loops, and so you end up at 1, 2, blank 3. You can go left, you can go right. If you go left, you went into a loop again. 2, 1, 3 is right above it, 2 steps up. So you go right, and you get to the goal. And the cost is 4, which is less than it would have been had you gone to the right immediately after the start state. Okay, so you'll tell me when we come back. We have school Monday, correct? I'm sure we do. Okay, so we'll figure out what we did here. And shoot to the next picture. Is there one more? And we'll come back and do this when we come back. Okay, so we'll call it quits. You guys, your homework, of course, is to figure out how those heuristics came about. And next time we'll look at automated reasoning. Scroll through these slowly, Ray. Yeah, we'll try to solve the jobs puzzle. Keep going. And we'll be ready for a prologue program, actually. Keep going. Oh, let me do it then. All right, cellular automata, we might say. Uncertainty reasoning. In AI, we're making guesses sometimes. So we need some measures of uncertainty. Threshold logic. Our friend Samuels worked for IBM for many years, and he wrote the checker playing programs. My colleague, Professor Kopek, was big in chess playing. And Ray is going to take us through a lot of videos next time as well. All right, this is a good place to stop. You tell me when we come back what the heck the heuristic was that got that instance of the 3 puzzle solved. Okay, so we'll look at videos next time, and hopefully they'll be easier to follow. All right, have a good weekend. And you're reading chapter 1. And we'll try to throw some curveballs at you next week. Make things a little difficult. All right, peace. You can
Thank you,
go,
Professor, everyone.
and I'll stay for a while if you got questions.
Professor, in the book you wrote that there have been kind of like lies about AI, you know, that some people over exaggerate it.
They promised too much too soon, and we didn't have the wherewithal to deliver. Yeah, they bragged a lot. You know, back in 1956, you know, the biggies in the field were already claiming we had found an AI because they had uncovered some logic systems that could solve logical puzzles. But that's not what we want. We don't even want AI to play chess games for us. We've done that already. We don't want it to play Go. We've done that. We want AI in the real world. You know, I want an AI that will do my laundry. I want an AI that will cook my meals, so I don't have to pay a cleaning lady that I now have on occasion. That's real AI, you know, the real world. Okay.
But you know, in the book you mentioned the chess and that you know.
Wait, who's talking?
It's Paul.
Say it again.
Paul Pavlo Alexeyev.
How come I can't understand that? Oh, Pav. Okay. There you go. All right. You say Paul sometimes, or just Pav?
It's Pavlo Paul. It's literally it's like Saint Paul, but in my country it's translated to Pavlo. It's the same name.
Pavlo.
Yeah, but you can call me Paul. In the book you mentioned chess, and like why does that, you know, why was that like the significance of showing intelligence? Because you kind of mentioned that you don't necessarily, you know, these AI can't explain how they're doing.
Back in the 1950s, 1960s, 1970s, all the way up to when we finally beat, we'll say we, everybody studying AI at the moment. What was it, 1997? When did we beat Kasparov? Deeper Blue. That winning games, you know, games have set rules. And if you can follow the rules, and you as a human and a machine as a machine, that the nice thing about games is they have set rules. You know, you got to move the pieces when you move them. And so that was a sort of, it seemed to possess some intelligence. The person playing the game, if that person could beat another person playing the game, the one that won the game, we would say, is more intelligent. We're assuming if you're a chess player, you can see many things in parallel. So whenever we built that system, IBM, Deeper Blue, built a system that was able to build a human, that was able to beat a human chess player, we gave the person credit, I'm sorry, the machine credit for possessing intelligence, because games require intelligence to win. And some people did not care what strategy the machine was actually using. What I didn't like, of course, about Deeper Blue, it was mostly exhaustive enumeration. Not entirely. And yeah, there were a lot of parallel circuits in there as well. But we felt that people that can beat others at playing these games possessed intelligence. So we sort of shifted that notion over to machines beating humans at a game. So it was our first entree, you know, into artificial intelligence, machines beating humans. That was up until 1996, 1997. Checkers was another big game, and then chess. And when it got to reinforcement learning, we even could beat machines at Go. I'm sorry, we could beat humans at Go. But the trouble there is that that's not what we want from AI. We would like AI to make life easier for us. So we talk about the first 50 years, 1956 to 1996, if we could beat machines, I'm sorry, if our machines could beat humans, then we say that the machines possess intelligence. But the next 50 years that we're in now, 1996 to 2046, we want machines that can run around in the real world. You know, the autonomous vehicles. You can, I can phone up, not now, but hopefully in a few years, I can make a phone call, get a car outside that drove itself to me, go to sleep in the back seat, and when I wake up, well, I don't want to be there now, but I'd be at City College, you know, and then I can, you know, teach my class sometimes in a future universe where classes take place in classrooms and we get to see each other. That's what we would like. A car that drives itself so I can read the New York Times in the back seat. A computer that can make my favorite meals. You know, zucchini shredded up as spaghetti with a nice shrimp sauce. I don't want to do it. Let the machine do it. It would be nice if the machine would cook for me. And then I need, as I look around, I need a machine that can clean my apartment. I'm paying a woman to come in once a week or once every 2 weeks when I'm sloppy once a week. And she gets rid of all the junk that I've accumulated in 1 week. I'm good at that. So that's, to me, that's artificial intelligence, you know, where the machines are doing things that people don't want to do. What was your question, Pavlo? What did you ask?
Like, why was chess
That's why, because it's a difficult game, and we always thought that people that play games better than others are more intelligent than others. It's our fault. We put that standard up there back in the 1950s. When we first built computers to play chess, they were very slow. You had to wait overnight to get one move. You know, you set the level of play, 1800, 2000, I don't know what your playing rate is. And so then when the machine could beat a human, we said, wow, that's a major achievement. That's the reason. That to play games well, it was assumed that the machines possessed intelligence. It was our prejudice. Where did it come from? That notion came from people. But again, we stopped being impressed the minute we beat everybody. You know, our machines beat all the humans. That doesn't matter. I want machines that do work that we don't want to do. Then I'm impressed. It comes from us. We set the standards. People are intelligent, so any machine that's capable of imitating humans at some task, we're going to give them the benefit of the doubt. They must be intelligent as well. Do you play chess, Pavlo?
Like, I used to a little bit, yeah.
Oh, you're not up there, and what's your ranking?
Kopech,
Kopech, he passed away a few years ago, but he was up there 2,000 or 2,100. He was an international master. So, you know, there are a lot of projects in AI that would be nice to work on as a term project if you know how to play chess well. Some of the search algorithms are pretty fancy, but you know, you got to play chess well first. Yeah. But that's it. It's what we think. When you want something, you try to find something that's related to it, that possesses it. Hold on. Okay. My head is empty. but yeah, I mean, we think that grandmasters must be intelligent because they play the game of chess better than any other people on the planet. So we want to give the benefit of the doubt to machines that do the same task. That's all. It's our prejudice. You know, we measure intelligence. Then machines that beat our expectations must be more intelligent than us. But that's not impressing most people now. We don't want the machines to play games. We want machines that work in the world that we live in. and can do our laundry. And well, you got robots that can iron clothes now. So do the tasks that we do. And the definition, of course, is if they can do them better than us, then they must possess more intelligence than we do. That's all. That's whenever you want to define something, you see what's out there that already does what you want done. Okay.
Hey, Professor.
Yeah.
I'm from your 304 class, and I was wondering
Where
if I could
are
ask a
you?
question.
Where's your face?
I'm Chu. You want me to
Oh,
say
you're
this?
okay. You're right. Wait a minute. Chu Zhang.
Yeah, that's me.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
So I was still confused when you were talking about 10 over 3 not being a rational number.
Wait a minute. The number 10 over 3 is a rational number.
Yes.
If I want the result of 10 being divided by 3, then the answer is 3.333.
Continuously.
An infinite number of 3's. If a number cannot be expressed statically, if you will, as the ratio of two integers, then it's not rational.
However, I did research, and I was checking the definitions of a rational number, and they state that the decimal expansion of a rational number either terminates after a finite number of digits or repeats the same finite sequence of digits over and over. So like a number.
So you'll, excuse me, so you'll never have the rational number in a finite amount of time.
Yes, but wouldn't that be
There's no
skewing away
buts.
from the
No,
definition?
no, that doesn't, it's not rational. A rational number is one that can be expressed as the ratio of two integers.
But aren't we expressing it as a ratio though? Because all the definitions that I've been
No, you
reading
never,
and
you
coming
gotta
up.
be able to hold it in your hand and say, this is it, 10 over 3. I
but the thing
agree
is-
with you. 10 thirds is a rational number, equal to 3 1/3. I'm not arguing. But if I ask you, give me the number you obtain when you divide 10 by 3, you never get 10 divided by 3 at some point in time. You're always dividing by the next digit. 10 divided by 3, that's 3 with a remainder of 1. 1 divided by 3, you know, and keep going. So add 1/3 to your number. Then keep adding smaller and smaller pieces to it. You never have it in your grasp. The number is always elusive. So
But then like how come every
10
single
thirds is a 10 thirds is a rational number. I'm not arguing with that. Of course it is. 10 divided by 3 is not a rational number.
But how come everywhere that I
it's a
check,
real number.
like everywhere that I check, I even asked people recently, like I asked on forums and stuff just recently, they all gave me answers. They all said, no, 10 over 3 divided is a
10
rational
divided
number.
by 3.
Yes, is a rational number. Like I even asked on Reddit just recently, and they said
Who'd
that
you
yes,
ask?
it is. Just random complete strangers that do help for
Wait a
that
minute,
do help on math.
math professors?
Probably not math professors, unknown background, but I asked people randomly on the internet. I checked websites, and they
Don't
all
go
the.
asking people randomly on the internet. Those are probably students.
I mean, regardless, still the point is that we're trying to get a ratio, and 10 over 3 is the ratio of 3.333, is it not? Because
it's an approximation to the ratio.
Because then why is every single site that I'm checking, like the sources I'm checking for the definition of a rational number, it says that
a rational number is one that may be expressed as the ratio of two whole numbers. There's no argument there. But
yes,
10 divided by 3 is not the ratio of two whole numbers. I'm asking you to divide 10 by 3. As you do your division, you'll always have a small remainder. And you have to keep going. And it's not going to be 10 thirds. It'll be approximately 10 thirds. In mathematics, we don't want approximations. We want precision. That's it. So these people you're asking at random sounds to me like they're students, or maybe they're professors in political science. I don't know.
Then would you say all the definitions on these sites that I've been checking out are incorrect because of what they've been saying about the decimal expansion and the repeating decimals?
Basically, from what
Get a math text on the definition of this. Get some nice math research articles. That would be fun.
Because from what I remember, it was that when you divide a number, for example, right, and you get like, let's say 2 divided by, let's say you do 7 divided by 2, you get 3.5, right? That's a number that has an end, right?
That's
so that's
fine.
going
It's
to be
nice. 7
but when
halves
you,
is, yeah.
When you end up dividing a number, and let's do the square root of 2, for example, right? You're going to get whatever, it's 1.
That's an irrational number.
1.3.
Because that doesn't have a ratio to it. That's
No,
an irrational number.
because-
Because square root of 2, you can't divide 2 numbers and get that number.
No,
but
what
for
I'm saying-
3.32, you can't get it
You're
regardless if
mixing
there is
up
an approximation or
two
not.
different objects.
Yeah. No, the thing is that
Mr. Zhang, you are mixing up apples and oranges, as people like to say.
because there's 2 types of decimals. You have one that are repeating decimals, and then you have ones that are not repeating, right?
10
So, for
over
example-
3 is a non-repeating decimal. You're going to keep going. Oh, it's repeated. Yeah, 3.333, and the 3's never stop coming.
So what I was taught was that if it's not repeating, meaning it's just a bunch of random garbage, right? Like 3.14519, whatever the hell pi is, right? That would be an example of something that's, not repeating. And as a result, pi is an example of a number that's not rational, right? It's irrational, right?
Oh, okay, No, Ray, let's stop the question here. So you're in my 304 class as well, Mr. Zhang.
Yeah.
You got yourself a little term project, and I want you to consult mathematical references. Don't give me what random people on the
No,
internet say.
I also have
I
different
don't
sources.
care
I could
about
provide
that.
sources. I could provide different, multiple sources right now on the spot.
You're
Like,
not
I don't know,
asking,
they may not be,
you're
like,
not
research
asking the
stuff.
right question. We can go on all night about this, but you're missing the point. 10 over 3, 10 on the top and 3 on the bottom, is a rational number. It's 3 1/3. Finished. That's rational. Divide 10 by 3. That's irrational, the result. You got to see the difference. Otherwise, you didn't understand what division meant.
So
10 over
just
3
for general
is as
terms-
rational as things get. 10
Wait.
divided by 3 is as irrational as things get. Your homework is convince me that you got it.
Just one last thing, just like why? So like, I'm not gonna not disparage what you're saying or anything, but so why do all these sites that I'm searching up? They're not like research papers stuff. Like it's like
You're not
Wikipedia
asking the right
and
questions.
stuff. Like but like why does every single one of these sites state this? That's my confusion. Like why is there so many?
Like I said,
videos
I fear these are students who would think, or they don't understand your question. You're not expressing it correctly.
I mean, all
10
I'm
over
saying is
3.
what is a rational
Once again,
number?
I'll say it. 10 over 3 is a rational number.
But the
It
infinitely
consists of
recurring-
10 thirds. That's rational. I'm not arguing. 10 thirds. Now I want to know what the result is when you divide 10 by 3. The result, which we don't have here because we didn't find it, because it would take an infinite amount of time to find it, is an irrational. It cannot be expressed as the ratio of 2 whole numbers.
So if the runtime is infinite, we can assume that it's irrational because it's
There's
going
no
to take
such
infinite
thing
amount
as
of time to find
infinite
it.
time. There's no such thing.
I mean, just like assuming. I mean,
It's
it's
just
gonna
not
like
gonna
take a
stop.
really long time. Yeah. So if let's say 1/7, right? If it return, it's the same as basically 3.3 continuously. It has a pattern. So we could say that it's irrational because it's continuously and
Because
it's
it
nonstop.
cannot be expressed as the ratio of 2 whole numbers.
Okay.
Your homework is to research this until you see that whatever I'm saying is correct, and you're asking the wrong questions. When you reach that point, you've reached a major point in understanding of rationals and irrationals.
Just to sum everything up, so 1/7 is what the number I brought up. Okay, 1/7 itself is a rational number, but
of course,
1 divided by 7, where it brings you
The
like
result
infinite-
is not rational.
Okay, so like let's say that in an exam that you're going to be giving us, and you ask something
Oh,
like
don't
this.
ask me about exams. I don't care about
Oh,
exams.
no,
I care
just
that
like-
you understand what the heck you're talking about.
Yeah, so like, I'm just like giving a hypothetical. So like, for instance, in an exam, so if you're asking 1/7 is it rational or not, you'd expect to say to give us both to like give both.
I'm only going to
perspectives.
put that question on your exam.
Okay, sure. That's
You
fine
will
for me.
get that question on your exam.
Okay.
Nobody
I
else
understand
will.
that.
Nobody else.
All right, sure.
All right,
Remember
peace.
my name though.
Oh, I'm going to remember now. Chu, C-H-U-Z,
Yeah.
Z and Zhang, Z-H-A-N-G. I don't forget.
Okay.
I got to see how dense you are. You're asking the wrong question, and you're
No,
answering the wrong
I
question.
get what you're trying to say. Like I'm understanding what you're trying to get through. Just
All
like
right,
in
peace.
the end, just like 1/7,
right.
the expression
The
1/7
expression 1/7
is
Of
rational.
course
but
it's rational.
The result is not rational. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, it's rational. I'm not arguing. But divide 1 by 7. What you get is not 1/7. You get an irrational result.
Okay, I'll be doing more research on this, but
And you're
thanks
going
for
to
your time, though.
and your midterm is going to have a question on that.
Okay,
All right,
sure.
peace.
All right, peace.
All right. And whoever's waiting, you guys had questions? Ekramu? No? Mr. Sorid? Okay.
No, I was just listening to the conversation.
Did you see his point versus mine? I hope I made myself clear. That's my job, is to make things clear.
Yeah.
He was stubborn, though. He refused to follow what I was saying.
To be fair, like that's the way I was taught. The way I was taught was that any number that's a fraction, right? If you were to evaluate it, and if you were to, so if you have a bunch of fractions, right? Let's say
Yes.
I have 1/7, for example. It gives me like 0.35, whatever, a bunch of garbage, right?
No. 1/7 is 1/7 is rational. If you try to express that as a decimal,
Yeah.
then you're never going to get that decimal. You're never going to get that number exactly. You're always going to be off by a certain amount. Some numbers can be expressed as a ratio of 2 whole numbers, period. If you want that number to be expressed as a decimal number, then you're going to go on forever. And you don't have 1/7. You have a decimal approximation to 1/7.
Yeah, I get that. But what I was taught was that if you have, for example, 10 divided by 3, I'm just to give an example, right?
Sure.
What I was taught was that if you have a non-repeating decimal resultant, right? So the 3.
Go ahead.
14519, like pi, right? That's going to be irrational because it's just a bunch of garbage at that point. But when you get a repeating decimal, like 3.33333333 going all the way up to 3, that is in fact rational. And I looked it up. So
in the limit, you get 1/3.
Yeah, basically. So like you're saying that this is 1/3 because they're equivalent. Because 3.333 ... equals to
Sure. Okay. That's fine.
It's rational because it can be written in the form P over Q. Therefore, it is not irrational, right? The evaluation.
We'll continue with this another time. Now, Ray.
That's what I was taught.
Okay. When is it possible to go through those videos so you can line them up and be ready to show them?
I can do it right now. 1 second. Just want to.
Okay.
Because I have all the videos up on this little.
If you could show me what the videos are to make sure you have all of them.
I got all of them right here. Game of Life.
We don't want the Game of Life yet. We don't want ant colonies. No, that's later. Genetic algorithms later. No, later. What's the last one, upper right?
Upper right. I think it's Kismet MIT AI Lab.
No, later.
Living with Robots.
No, that's all later.
It's NetTalk 2, NetTalk 3, Perception Learning,
Perceptron.
Sad Robot.
No, that's all later.
Simulated annealing.
Later.
Tennessee Fireflies, the posters.
Later.
Traveling Salesman.
Later.
Traveling Salesman video. Genetic algorithms.
Later.
What I suggest.
What I want now, hold it. Let me cite them to you. I would like Jeopardy, the game of Jeopardy.
1 second. So let me go to my folder, go to AI, so fall 2020 AI. So we go to attendance. Oh yeah, Sandy gave me the attendance. Thank you, Sandy.
Thank you, Sandy.
I think she left, but yeah. Textbook fall. Okay, is this the one? Okay, so this is artificial intelligence. Right? These are the programs. This is the videos. You gave me I think it was a file with a bunch of YouTube links. Is that the one?
Yeah, I want you to make sure you know them. so we don't have to do this again.
1 second. Is it in Queen's Problem AI syllabus? Is it in syllabus? Where is the videos you want us to watch?
Well, I want everybody to watch the two that we looked at. You know,
Which one?
The
water
the
jug
one
problem?
the one just now. The water jug problem and the Lynott talking about common sense. The
We
two
just saw
videos.
it.
Yeah, so those are the two I'd like people to see. The others I'd like to see together in class.
Which one? 448?
All right, then
4?
copy these down as I say them.
No. We saw the video. We saw them today, and they were able to get the audio as well.
Good. Then that's behind us. Now, write this down. Heuristics, and the first example is lions chasing either a deer or a zebra. So look it up. That's one.
1 second. Let me make this file over here so I don't accidentally share it.
Yeah, and if you could please set it up so they're ready and we don't have to.
Lions
chasing a zebra or deer, either one. And before it or after it, also add heuristic. So it's heuristic search, lions chasing a zebra or a deer. Okay. And we'll see what the heuristic is. That's one.
Okay.
2, and look on the web and find a nice one. Then 2, hold on. Wait a minute. My head is empty. Jeopardy. The game of Jeopardy, you'll find like 20 of them, 20 videos. Find the 2 or 3 that's best. You'll see, you'll see the game of Jeopardy and how the 2 champions play, our robot, the IBM, robot that they came up with.
IBM Watson?
That's it. And, pick the best 2 or 3 that you see.
Okay, sure.
3, so 3, well, okay, you got the Blue Brain Project. And this is a Swiss researcher. And he's got many researchers working with him. And what they're trying to do is to build a model of the brain in hardware almost, or like a network to behave like the brain. So again, pick 2 or 3, and maybe you and I can siphon out the best 1 or 2 for the Blue Brain Project. That's the title of the research. All right, hold on. Google, the Google car, autonomous vehicles.
Oh, one of my professors was working on that actually. So I took math class.
At City College?
No, so his name I think is Dr. Peter Brinkman. He was the teacher of my current professor, Javon Smith, who was teaching me linear algebra. So Dr. Peter Brinkman was kind of explaining how they use like a machine, linear algebra to solve matrices, and they use like special accelerated calculators like GPUs to like do computer vision to like do autonomous driving.
That's not, you didn't spell autonomous. Okay, now you got it. And again, the best 1 or 2 videos you can see.
So do we do Google's or do we do Tesla's?
It's Google. Look at both and see which gives the best. Hold on.
Anyway.
Also, an older one, which goes before autonomous vehicles, ALVINN, Alvin. That was an MIT project, and that preceded autonomous vehicles. And that was a car that could follow some path, like following the middle dividing lane or something. So ALVINN.
While we're at, we can also put,
Alvin Project. Hold on, I'm trying to think if I missed
Boston
it.
Dynamics.
That's robots. That's, yeah. What about, but we talk about that later. I'm talking about intro stuff. No, that's for later. If we talk reinforcement learning, Boston Dynamics sold a nice computer model to the Japanese group that I went to a year and a half ago.
Was it the SoftBank?
Was it the what?
SoftBank. They bought Boston Dynamics for like billions and billions of dollars.
I didn't understand the name that you used. What was that?
SoftBank.
All right, I'm not sure. Hold on.
I wrote it.
Okay. I can't think of any others now. Maybe they'll come to me. Those other videos you have come later when we're talking neural nets and genetic algorithms. That's later. These are topics that sort of to get you in the mood for AI and what's big these days. Yeah, Monte Carlo algorithms, sure.
This is in conjunction.
That's not intro, that's later. We'll look at those as we're discussing those models. But the first 6 that you have written there are supposed to, whet your appetite. And I would expect some of the students might wish to pursue those topics for a term paper.
Okay, we can look into this.
But yeah, the first 6 are for now, the next 2 classes or next class. And those others go with the appropriate chapters. So
okay, let's leave this to the side now. I got a question to ask. How was today's class? Seamless?
Almost. The problem was that we didn't have the videos ready. Otherwise, it was good.
Oh yeah, like aside from that.
So from the point that we started, there was take the first 11 minutes away, then it was seamless, and you can just get the lecture based on that.
Anyway, but look, I
started the 11th minute or whatever that was.
Look, what we lost in the videos we got with me actually using the red pen and drawing on the actual diagram.
Okay, I give it to you. I'm happy. When you have time, well, okay, all right, we'll see if we need to talk again.
So what I suggest, on the bottom right, could you see the button that says leave or end screen? Or end session for all?
Wait a minute, wait. On the bottom.
Yep.
What am I looking at?
There's a red button that's going to say leave or end. It's going to.
It says end on the far right.
Click on it.
All right, I'm clicking. One second.
And then it'll give you an option to say end session for all.